What's up, movie lover badasses? Fat Samurai Guy here. Welcome back! Yes, it's been a while. Had a little bit of a break there. But welcome back to another episode of The Movie Dojo, where we discuss martial arts cinema and action films. On today's episode, I am going to review Police Story Lockdown. Here's a quick plot synopsis. A man looking for the release of a longtime prisoner takes a police officer, his daughter, and a group of strangers hostage. Now I'm going to give you the good, I'm going to give you the bad, I'm going to give you the badass. First up, the good. I've always been a big fan of the Police Story series. I would say the best of the series in its prime is definitely the first three. Still, in my opinion, the first Police Story is still the best of the series. So when I saw the trailer for this film, I was actually pretty excited. It looked pretty badass, and it kind of seemed like it was like, you know, maybe Jackie Chan is coming back to the old Jackie Chan, you know, coming back to what he used to do, what made him special. So I couldn't wait to see it. And Jackie Chan's acting performance in this movie is really what kind of stands out for me. I kind of think that, you know, everybody knows him to be, you know, the kung fu guy, the guy with the comedic elements. He makes us laugh, which is great about Jackie Chan. That's why he's a legend. A lot of people actually look past his acting ability, I think, in my opinion. As with Donnie Yen and Sammo Hung and Jet Li, over time, they have improved as actors. And Jackie is probably one of the most underrated action film star actors that we have. So his acting in this movie was definitely one of the highlights. Now for the bad. Oh boy. Okay. Where to start? Damn it. All right. For those of you that go into this film expecting the glory days of Jackie Chan, you're going to be really disappointed with this movie, as was I. Barely any fighting in this movie, guys. There's barely anything in there. Now, Jackie Chan has done some crime dramas, and some of them have actually been pretty good. But with Police Story, you know, it's kind of like you kind of expect a little bit more, especially with that trailer. It looks like, man, is he back doing stunts again? Is he back doing fighting again? So unfortunately, you know, I have to warn you guys that there's barely anything in the movie in terms of hand-to-hand combat, a little bit of shootout here and there, nothing remarkable. And another thing I had a problem with in film was the main villain, his motivation. I kind of get it. I understand what he did and why he did, but it kind of seemed like it was a little bit overboard. You know, taking all these hostages and demanding answers kind of seemed a little bit, you know, kind of ridiculous. You know, you would think somebody who's already in the criminal underground. I mean, you've seen this guy's club in the film. The club is like amazing, so you know he got some money. And you think just being in the underbelly of the underworld, you'd think he would have different ways of maybe taking the people that he needs to question aside, maybe torturing them or getting the answers he needs. I think kidnapping all these people for hostages purposes in his club with no escape route or exit kind of seemed a little bit not too bright. I'm sure he could have came up with a little bit better way to get the answers that he needs. I'm not going to spoil the ending for you, but it just seemed a little bit ridiculous. And another thing I found disappointing, which is one of the main ingredients of a really good action Jackie Chan film, is some kind of finale. Jackie Chan, he's old, okay? So I could kind of forgive his most recent film efforts. I know he can't do what he used to do. I mean, he's old. He was probably lucky to do the things that he did in this film. But when you kind of set up in the movie that the main villain was this kickboxing badass, I mean, obviously he injures his leg later, but I would have took that out, his whole injuring the leg subplot. It didn't really go anywhere. I would have kept him whole, and you kind of set that up that he was this badass kickboxer, and we didn't really get a really cool end fight. I mean, I know I may have been cliche in a Jackie Chan martial arts film, but that's what we want to see, or a Jackie Chan action movie, or thriller. That's what we kind of want to see. We kind of want to see something, and I think the movie failed in establishing the fact that he was this badass kickboxer. And then they didn't have them fight at the end. I mean, there was a scruffle. That's all I can say. I'm not going to spoil anything. There was a scruffle, but come on. I mean, there's no point of setting all that up and then not delivering on it. And now for the badass. Jackie Chan, who's pretty much done about everything. That's why he's a legend. Any fight sequence you can think of, any stunt you can think of. The guy's pretty much done everything. So I'm sure it's kind of difficult for him to evolve or do something new because the guy's done everything. That's why he's the man. But it was nice to see Jackie Chan put a little bit of MMA inspiration in his fight scenes. I mean, even though the movie barely really had like maybe 2 fight sequences, which is kind of disappointing, but you could tell in the fight choreography there that, yeah, he's doing a little bit of MMA there. He's following Donnie Yen's path a little bit there, bringing that MMA in to his fight choreography. I was like, what? Jackie Chan doing an armbar? What? So it was kind of fun. It was kind of fun, and the best fight in the film definitely was Jackie Chan versus his other kickboxer in the cage. That's how cool and awesome this club was. There was a cage in there. For who knows what purposes. There just happened to be an octagon cage in there. That was the best fight in the movie, and that was pretty good, and I wanted more of that. Wasn't too much of a fan of how that fight was filmed. More directors need to pull back and kind of show everything. There wasn't that much shaky cam, but there was a lot of quick cut editing, which should be a no-no in Hong Kong cinema. I mean, that's what we do over here. Directors over here that don't know how to film a fight sequence, they do the shaky cam and the quick cut editing and stuff like that. But this kind of seemed like a little bit of that was in that fight, which almost ruined it. But there wasn't enough to completely, dismiss the fight. That was the best fight in the film. So overall, a little bit disappointed with this movie. Kind of expected a little bit more. It's like you need to have a good balance. If you don't have amazing fight sequences, then your story better be damn good. There better be characters in the movie we care about. And really, the only person we gave a shit about was Jackie Chan. Which should be enough in these types of movies, because he is our hero. But, when you're cooped up in the club for a really, really, really long time, and that's pretty much the whole set piece of the film, is everybody was stuck in this club. It was the lockdown, the hostage situation in the club. You need to be creative, and I don't think they were creative enough. They really had a lot of opportunities. Maybe even have it like a Die Hard type of situation where Jackie Chan fights multiple thugs and then fights the main villain. I know cliche, but it's Jackie Chan, man. It's what we want to see, the guy's great. But this isn't a horrible movie. This isn't a really bad movie. Okay, it's not terrible. It's just a little bit underwhelming. So I give Police Story Lockdown 3 out of 5 ninja stars. Alright, that's it for today's episode of the Movie Dojo. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of Police Story Lockdown. Also, let me know which is your favorite Police Story film in the saga. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like, share, and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next week with my review of 7 Assassins. See you next time.